Dear Elon, yes. Okay, it's 46 minutes long. Do we want to watch that? Is that what chat wants to do? Because I have not watched this at all. Here's a question. Genuine question for you guys. I've never paid attention to Sam Hyde literally ever. He has just never been someone that I've watched on YouTube, with the exception of 2 videos. All right. Kooky. Like, this is an internet classic.
I go through my day pretty normal. Like, I'm a normal guy. I'm a swell guy. I'm a nice enough guy.
Also doesn't look like him. Oh, also, I can't believe that this guy turned into this guy. He looks like fucking like heroin Vladimir Lenin. No, not Lenin. What's his name? Trotsky. He went from incel to Trotsky, and I don't get it. Yeah, Trotsky. Can't believe you took IDub's side. Did I take IDub's side? I don't remember, because this isn't anything that I care about. Yeah, like this, he went from this, and now everyone, there's like a perfect 50-50 split on the internet of people saying that he's like a Nazi, and then half people say that he's just like an internet troll that, you know, he likes to be edgy and stuff, and like he's not an actual Nazi. He just likes to play with like the levels of irony and shit. I don't know. So I just want to see what chat's opinion is. I have a feeling I know what Beheller is going to say, but
I go through my day pretty normal. Like, I'm a normal guy. I'm a swell guy. I'm a nice enough guy. I'm a cool kind of guy. I'm a pretty groovy guy. But then I get a little sugar in me and I start to go cuckoo. Doesn't have to be much. This time around it was two of fiber-one brownies. Only 90 calories each, but they do the job. Do you know what I'm saying? They get me going. They get me riled up. A little cuckoo, a little wacky. Start getting me a little kooky. A little, you know, loopy. Ooh. Hey, somebody put this kid in a padded cell. Get him a straitjacket. He's going a little wacky. A little kooky. He's off the walls. Bananas. Loco. You want me to stop. Isn't that wonderful? Well, let me just do whatever you say, because it's your little fairy tale.
you want me to stop. Okay, there's one other one, and I can never remember what it is. It's kind of the same thing. It must be on this YouTube. Let's go to videos. Let's go to popular. Nope, not in popular. Let's go to oldest. Let's see here. God, there's a lot of weird shit going on here, huh? I'm never going to find. He posted way more than I thought that he did. Oh, Jesus. Okay, never mind. I'm spending too much time trying to find this thing that I don't even remember if it was actually, like, I don't even know if it actually holds up. The other one does. A little kooky, a little wacky. Okay, anyways. If you had any doubt that he was a Nazi, watch the video. Just Sam Hyde wall show. If this is longer than like 2 minutes, then we're not going to watch it. Just because I want to see the Dear Elon. Sam Hyde wall show. It's like 7 minutes long.
My name is Brittany. I am 29. It seems like when you hit 30 that your partner count is considered something negative rather than being wild and free. It's just you can't find a man, so you can't stop looking and you can't stop fucking.
Hello, my name is Erica. I feel I have a great income. You know, I get disability, I get, what else I get? You know, I'm working on getting more disability. When I add up everything, I get over 40 grand.
Hey, my name's Charlize, and, you know, I've known a lot of boys. If a guy's not gonna, you know, treat me right and take care of me and just do the dishes when I am too worked to the bone, because I work construction. I don't work construction, I'm a woman.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I know you meant the Elon one.
The show where 30 stops being a number and starts being an unescapable way of life. My co-host with me today.
Hi everybody, well, I'm your co-host here, Kerry Casey Seller. We're going sitting here talking to three beautiful blokes, trying to figure out what's going on in their life, trying to be a modern 30-year-old woman, finding a new man out there in the public.
That's right, because we're British, mate. We're 100% British. It's the show filmed in Britain. Show me contestant number 1.
I'm Brittany. I'm 29. I'm looking for a real man. I prefer somebody that's pretty handy.
Is this like, are they supposed to be in wheelchairs? Or they were running earlier. They were standing up a minute ago. Okay. We're not watching the whole thing. Okay. We're just going to listen to Mr. Sam Hyde talk about stuff. He's Vladimir Lenin, big memes, big chungus. Okay.
Glad I caught you. Glad I got you there. Elon Musk. By the way, please don't watch this if you're not Elon Musk, okay? This is a one-off video that we're doing. This is private, personal. I put this in his email. I don't know how you got this, unless you're on the Asmongold Discord server, in which case you know my every move, okay? Me and Asmongold have been planning this for a while now. Moist Critical's involved. And yeah, I guess if you're on the Moist Critical.
How did they react to being name dropped like this in this video? Does anybody know how they reacted to being name dropped like this in the video? Because I'm not sure. I'm not sure what his reputation is in like the normie Twitch space. I say normie Twitch like these people are normies, but you know what I mean.
Critical Discord server, you would have access to this file. So kudos to you, hacker. I don't think Elon's gonna watch this. And listen, I know as a comedian, first and foremost, I don't expect people to take me seriously, but.
Oh, I also forgot to, I have a second YouTube stream that I should be starting up. Whoopsie. Okay, let me just do that and this. And this should be going up to here. All right, cool. And we're going to go ahead and watch.
It is a fact that shit posting and public opinion are now intermingled permanently, and it's not going anywhere. And that's just the way it is. I get all my news from memes, basically. That's how I get my news. Is that how you get your news? How would you even get the news if you weren't looking at memes? You'd watch a show? That's even more fucking retarded. We turn that off? It's a smart thermostat, so it's gonna take 15 minutes to figure out how that fucking thing works. It's very intuitive. I don't know why the Nest thermostat is taking you so long to learn and intuit. Okay, a toddler could figure this out. A toddler on an iPad.
Okay, get to it,
could figure
Mr.
out
Hyde.
how to use the
Get
Nest
to it, Mr. Hyde.
thermostat. That's Chris Lynch, by the way, Elon. Do not hire him, okay? He's leaving this job very soon. See, he's white. He's too lazy. Chris, you're so lazy and white. Well, yeah. You guys should have studied violin harder as kids.
Why does he have this, like, sorry, this is just like as someone just watching. Why is he filming this in like a theater aspect ratio? Like the big screen, ultra wide.
I swear to God, Vivek would have figured this out by now. I want to believe that Elon is one of the great men of our age and that he has what it takes to become a 21st century Andrew Carnegie. I think it's important to have great men to look up to. Trump, Joe Rogan, oh, there it goes. Elon, Tucker, and it's not necessarily important that our great men are perfect, but they're symbols of what we could be. I think if Ron Paul took steroids, he would be my number one. That would be my number one guy. You agree? Yeah. I would like to offer you an escape, an exit from this hole you've been digging. You are a beloved figure. Anytime you do anything remotely based, people lose it. Oh my God, he's based. Yo! He just said that woke liberals aren't cool. He's based. What does he say? Yeah, anytime you post an AI kitten in a MAGA hat, people lose their, he's based! He's fucking based, man. For the guy who's the free speech guy, and not only that, but the reasoning from first principles guy, the logical fallacy guy, the Reddit guy, good faith argue with everybody, you know, whatever. All that shit. Blanket banning groypers, taking away blue checks, changing the algorithm.
I think that, like, just, I haven't really been paying too much attention in the past couple of days. I mean, like, since the last time I streamed, because, you know, it's the holidays, it's the New Year's, I have a family, I have friends, I have a life, I go outside, I touch grass, I break my rib skiing, right? Like, I have other things going on in my life. So I haven't really paid too much attention to this MAGA civil war going on. Everybody's talking about it, you know. Everybody's talking about the MAGA civil war and how they're going against each other because the racist part of MAGA is attacking the like annoying tech bro MAGA people. How's it going, Michi Meow? But yeah, for the same reason that I don't care, like, I don't care that groypers are getting mass banned for the same reason that I don't care about leftists getting mass banned. And that's because they're the ones that use that shit. They use that superpower of mass coordinating, what do you call them? Coordinated, like mass flaggings, right? How's it going, Roshan? So I don't really have that much sympathy for them. Like, in general, is it a good thing that people are getting banned because of political disagreements on a platform? No, I don't think so. I didn't like it when it was happening with Twitter under Jack, whatever his last name is. I didn't like it. I don't like it when Elon bans people for no fucking reason. I don't like that. But I also don't have that much fucking sympathy for people like Groypers. Number one, it's really hard to have sympathy for Groypers because of who they are as people. It's also really hard to have sympathy for Groypers when they take every opportunity in the world to mass flag people that go against them. If they think that someone on their side is going against them, they will organize mass flagging campaigns to ruin them, you know? So I don't really have that much sympathy for the Groypers or the leftists or anyone who gets mass flagged. You reap what you sow, as the saying goes, you know? Is he about to like defend Groypers in this video?
Rhythm of the site because 100 people ratioed you, because there's fucking 50,000 posts. They're all organic, by the way. This is not some Russian bot farm. It's not some nefarious behind the scenes, let's mess with Elon, we're gonna fuck with him. That's not what it is. It's you tapped into a moist critical. You tapped into a moist critical, and we're back to moist critical. Mainline concern for the American people. And you treated it in a way that was glib and dismissive. You just became a Republican 3 months ago, and you're talking about removing a big portion of regular people, root and stem. No. People fucking love you. They will forgive you. Nobody is trying to get you to become turbo base pilled, full Pat Buchanan immigration policy. People broadly understand that you are a San Francisco, tech, California, international immigrant. Well, if you want to be a regular tech guy, that's fine. You can do that. You can be Larry Ellison. You can go play on the boat. Nobody's going to give a fuck. Realize what you're fighting for. If you're going to be the tech king, if you've courted the MAGA base, you wanted these people on your side. They're ready to be on your side, but you have to fight not for Ben Shapiro's idea of the country of America, the notion of America as this collection of ideas. That's not what it is. It's America.
Wait, hold on. Got the bad guy from League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Wait, hold on. I haven't seen League of Extraordinary Gentlemen since I was like 8 years old. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. What did the bad guy look like? Images. Oh, was it the fucking Dorian Gray dude? Dorian Gray was the bad guy, right? Open image in new tab. Oh, of course, he's the one that's fucking blurry. Cool. All right. Let me hear what he said right here. There's something that there is I'm trying to choose my words carefully. Because people get so riled up. The masked guy, I'm not even gonna lie, I do not remember any of the characters from A League of Extraordinary Gentlemen at all. But there is this talking point or thought or something like that, you know, that strongly correlates to like actual Nazi talking points. And when I say actual Nazi, I mean like a literal neo-Nazi is the one that started going around and using this argument with people, right? The America isn't an idea, it is a nation of people, right? When our founding fathers kind of explicitly said the exact opposite. People really, and I think that there's this inherent human drive that we kind of were on the right track for a while, to push down, this kind of primal fear of others, right? Where in this like old understanding of the way that the world worked, right? Like if you look back at the Middle Ages, right, and the Renaissance, and basically I'm going to say pre-1800 because I am a historically illiterate fuck, okay? So take everything in terms of the timeline here with a grain of salt. But nations were not the same as they are now, right? Like they didn't have like, these are the borders of England, and if you come in here, you need your passport, yada, 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 yada. It was like a sphere of control, right? And the sphere of control, you really didn't have much of a way to control the entire world back then, right? So the conception of what a nation or a country or, you know, a kingdom or whatever the fuck back then largely came down to the people around you and shit like that. The idea of a country being based on, you know, something higher than the people within that nation inherently, I could be wrong here, all right? But I'm pretty sure the United States is the first one to do that. We didn't create a nation around a singular person that everyone worshipped as a king or a god or an emperor or something like that. The first and foremost ruling entity in the United States is the law, is the Constitution, and all the laws that derive therefrom. So, yeah, our country was founded on the ideas of what it means to like live in a country that gives you liberty, right? Our country is founded on ideas rather than the ethnicity of a person. The founding fathers, if they wrote how many I think there's like 80 or 90 Federalist Papers. Federalist Papers. How many were there? Series of 85 essays. They didn't talk about in the Constitution, in the Declaration of Independence, in any of our founding documents. They never once talk about what race you had to be to get into the United States, right? That just wasn't something that concerned them whatsoever. Now, there were probably a bunch of racist people in there that did not like black people as much as they liked white people. All right, we'll get all the qualifier statements out of the way so nobody's like, oh, Sondsol's super ignorant about, you know, race relations back in the 16 and 17 and 1800s. Like, obviously, they had slaves. Yeah, Sondsol, you ignorant. Yeah. But we did found this nation based off of some founding principles rather than, you know, founding ethnicities. Yeah, true, Sam. Fuck you, Sam made me lose my fucking train of thought. Fuck you, Sam. I was saying that we were founded on a bunch of ideas, not ethnicities. Oh, yeah, so there's like this Nazi talking point that like America is a nation of people, not a nation of ideas. But like, no, we kind of are a nation of ideas, and those ideas make us better than those countries that are like based off of, actually, I don't even know if there are any countries that are based strictly off of ethnicity. Well, I guess there might be Israel, but I don't know as much about Israel as other people, so I won't make a hard comment on that. But yeah, I don't like the idea, because one of the things that's so cool about America, and the thing that's so cool about being an American, is that you can be Chinese. You can be, all right? You can be Mexican. You can be Zimbabwean. Zimbabweese. how to refer to someone from Zimbabwe. Zimbabwean. All right. It doesn't matter if you're Zimbabwean. You can come to the United States and you can become an American if you, believe in the same ideals that we do. If you, swear your loyalty to the Constitution, to the United States, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like, these are things that you can do, and it makes you an American, because what it means to be an American is to agree with the founding principles of this country. Beginning, middle, and end, right there. It doesn't matter if you, like, what the shade of your skin is, or what your accent is, or what your native language is. If you come to the United States and you become a citizen and you agree with our ideals, you are a American. Now, if he's going to say something contrary to that, then I'm probably going to disagree with the entire rest of the video. Andrew Davis says, George Washington had a speech where he states that every citizen ought to have as many guns as possible to defend against a tyrannical government. I looked into it wondering what the founding fathers thought as well. Is that what you were trying to say? I don't care if people have guns. Like, again, we've had this, I'm not going to get into the gun discussion here because every single stream turns into a bunch of people getting super upsetty spaghetti at me for talking about guns. All right. But I don't care if people have guns. All right. The founding principles of this country are about equality in the eyes of the law. Right. And we've been working towards that for a long time. Right? There have been things that we did not perfectly deliver on, and things that we are still not perfectly delivering on, right? But equality under the law, loyalty to the Constitution. We have the rule of law, right? Not just like the laws are a bunch of rules, but the law is the ruler of the land. A person is not the ruler of the land. The president is not the ruler of the land. The president is still subservient to the Constitution. Right. And that's why I think that America is so cool. Why America is a better system than basically any other country on the face of the earth. Read H.R. 40 naturalization bill. I will put that in the tabs. H.R. 40 naturalization. We'll put that in the tabs, but I want to get through this video.
Base. You wanted these people on your side. They're ready to be on your side, but you have to fight not for Ben Shapiro's idea of the country of America, the notion of America as this collection of ideas. That's not what it is. It's Americans. That's who you have to fight for. If you're in America, doing business in America, you want to be the man in America, you have to fight for the American people. You're not fighting for a paragraph. You're not fighting for a set of ideas, man. It's the American people.
But the common tie between all of us, because even when even at the founding, now it might have predominantly been Anglo-Saxons, but there were Germans here, there were Irish here, there were French, like, in and around. All right, there were Spanish people in the New World. There was a lot of interplay between all of these things. But the thing for the people inside of the United States that kept everyone together, that bound us all together, was the Constitution. So if you want to talk about protecting Americans, it's anyone that is an American citizen or is trying to become an American citizen, subscribes to the American way of life, and agrees with our ideals.
Who need your help. That's fundamentally why I think people are pissed off here. And it's an easy fix. Just don't call them retards. Elon, have you met Chris? He's on Asmongold. He's streaming all the time. You should just check him out. He's playing these games and stuff. He's amazing what the kid does with video games. I can't believe it. People didn't suddenly have a flare-up of India hate. I've been monitoring the Indian hate.
No, I'm sorry. There has been a flare-up in Indian hate. I had never seen some of the slurs for Indians that I've seen in the past couple of weeks, okay? Not just the past couple of weeks, like the past year. on Twitter. It's like actually fucking insane to me how much people fucking hate Indians. I thought that these were like mostly memes, but they are absolutely not mostly memes. They are mostly, you know, people's true beliefs. It's actually fucking crazy to me how much people hate them. And I'm trying to think of a way to explain the hate that I've seen without breaking TOS on one of the two platforms I'm streaming to right now. It's like actually that fucking bad, dude. It's like actually fucking insane. But yeah.
Websites for a while. It's actually set to my homepage. I've been checking these websites out. I watch what these people do. There were very few overt Indian haters spewing their nonsensical filth everywhere 72 hours ago. What happened? Okay, 72 hours ago, most people in the MAGA base looked at Vivek Ramaswamy with some notion of admiration or, hey, that guy says cool stuff every once in a while. Hey, you know what? I think I like that guy. Now, he's got to be deported. Sucks, man. And he's not being deported because of the...
1 second. I have to turn off my Bluetooth and turn it back on. Something is fucked up. Something is super fucked up. And it's irritating the fuck out of me. I can't hear what he's saying. Give me 1 second.
Everywhere 72 hours ago. What happened? Okay, 72 hours ago, most people in the MAGA base looked at Vivek Ramaswamy with some notion of admiration or, hey, that guy says cool stuff every once in a while. Hey, you know what? I think I like that guy. Now, he's got to be deported. Sucks, man. And he's not being deported because of the color of his skin. He's being deported for the content of his character. And I think that truly was a mask-off moment where we saw that Vivek Ramaswamy really is just a fucking nerd who needs to go back. I think that what you did is different. Deported because of the color of his skin. He's being deported.
Can't hear me. Sorry. Yeah, I was just saying, like, where I don't know about what his I didn't know where he was from. He's from Cincinnati. Where are we going to deport him back to? Ohio? Or are we deporting him back to Cincinnati? I'm not. Where is he going back to? Again, just a reminder: the entire reason that people are mad at Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk is because they want there to be H1B visas, which is something that I think Donald Trump came out in support of, right? I'm like 80% sure. Trump H1B H1B visa. I think the abuses of the H1B program have been evident, where you have the sorts of, where you have sort of the sons and daughters of those factory workers who lost their jobs. I'm sorry. We're talking about like middle class people getting their jobs like in the current, like when did manufacturing jobs overtime USA. Wait, can we go back further than 2014, please? So like people who are like currently looking for work are going to be people who were born in the very late 80s. I'm going to go back to 1990, okay? From 1990 to 2024, go. Jesus Christ, 2008 killed manufacturing in the United States, didn't it? Let's go back as far as like 1970. So if we're looking at people who are like looking for jobs now that are probably the ones that are competing with H1B visa people, which I keep on getting, and someone in chat can correct me if I'm wrong here, all right? I keep on getting mixed information about this from official sources. So I don't know what I don't know what the deal is. H1B visas, you have to try to hire an American citizen before hiring someone with an H1B visa, right? Am I right or am I wrong on that? Because I'm pretty sure I'm right. The people who are right now looking for jobs are not the sons and daughters of manufacturing families. The peak was in like the late 70s, early 80s. Okay, I guess it doesn't matter. I'm just getting curious about everything that he's saying. That is the policy, but the question is whether or how strongly that is enforced, what amounts to trying. If you interview a candidate and decide they don't fit, then you can apply for H1B. I guess the onus would be on them to show that it is not working as intended, right?
For the content of his character. And I think that truly was a mask-off moment where we saw that Vivek Ramaswamy really is just a fucking nerd who needs to go back. I think that what you did is different. I think it's everybody spurgs out. I'm spurging out right now. I'm gonna spurg out later, okay? On Chris, Lynch. And also, Indians do cool stuff every once in a while. They get the chest slapping, wrestling. You guys watch that action movies. He's shooting a bullet out of the air with a gun. He's flipping over the tuk-tuk. Indian clubs, shoulder rehab, exercise, fantastic. The hate, it's irrational hate. It's just racism. It's just a nonsensical racism. The hate and racism and anti-Indian sentiment, it's there to the extent that Indians are being used to replace white people. That's it. We have to stop playing pretend. We're not talking about exceptional Indians here. And that's why this is sort of spreading like wildfire, people sharing these H1B lists of what the jobs are. You are not in Calcutta scouting.
Can you see what the unemployment rate for a specific industry is? Tech unemployment rate? Can you do that? The tech unemployment rate for, oh, yes, you can. The tech unemployment rate in September was 2.5%. We don't have a bunch of unemployed. We don't have a bunch of unemployed tech workers. Hold on, let me see here. If our unemployment rate is that low, that means that we don't have enough workers in that sector of our economy. Yeah, and in the current job market, if I wanted to create a competitor to Google, I couldn't. I would literally have to steal employees. Yeah, exactly. Like if the unemployment rate is that low, you're not going to have enough workers to go around to expand those businesses without hiring people from the H1B program.
For the next Indian Einstein, you're not. We have to make it to outer space and invent new computers. Let's get to India and get the next Nikola Tesla. That's not what's happening. We're talking about people at fucking gas stations. You bring them over, you put them in a fucking gas station, and then we'll go around all the gas stations in the USA and find the next genius.
I'm also pretty sure that H1B visas are not being handed out for fucking gas stations. Actually, I feel like we have to look up every single fucking claim. Are H1B visas used for gas station jobs? What jobs qualify for an H1B visa? H1B specialty occupations may include fields such as architecture, engineering, mathematics, physical science, social sciences, medicine and health, education, business specialties, accounting, law, theology, and the arts. You have to buy an H-1B visa permit for the person to try and get into the country, like $4,000. Oh, so like the company has to sponsor them, right? Who's going to spend money to bring in someone from India to work for the same wages that someone's going to get in the United States over this, unless we had a complete lack of workers? Lamelda, can I own a gas station on an H-1B visa? Yeah, I don't think you can move to the United States on an H-1B visa to own your own business, you know? There were people posting pics from an H-1B registry with the jobs listed. I heard about that, but then I read a thread, and I'm not going to lie to you. I was very high, okay? It was like New Year's Eve that I saw this thread, okay? So from my very, very sketchy memory, okay? From my very, very sketchy memory on this, there's a bunch of job listings on there, but it's kind of like the way that there's the possibility, but it's like a 0.00001% chance, because they're not actually looking for people aren't actually looking for people in gas stations, right? People aren't actually looking for people to, they're not looking to sponsor someone's visa to come and, pick fruit or some shit like that. That's my understanding of the program. I'm willing to be, shown something that I don't even know where to get good information on all this. Okay. So, I don't think people are paying for people to come across the fucking ocean to work a minimum wage job. That's not fucking happening. People are using these H-1B visas for... Here, let's just click on the H-1B website. H1B specialty occupations. Well, what's regular? Can I just go to like the H1B? I guess this is the fuck. I just don't know if this is like a specific H1B visa. Fuck. Question: can a gas station owner sponsor his employee for H1 visa or H1B visa? It is extremely unlikely U.S. Customs Immigration Services would approve an H-1B for this position. The expense for governmental filing fees alone would be considerable and non-refundable. The employer can certainly try, but the issue is showing a bachelor's degree or higher is needed for the position, that your degree would be appropriate for the position. Okay, so you have to also show that, like, you need a bachelor's degree for the position. Read this, read which. It literally said bachelor's degree or higher right there. No, he was wrong about that. He has no H-1B workers. He's referring to the J-1 visas that work on his properties. Oh, gotcha. Trump also uses H-2B visas like gardeners and landscapers and H-2A agricultural. Oh, man, that's crazy.
Well, what if he's not in India? What if he's working at a gas station in North Carolina?
What I said earlier? There is a low-income farm H-1B visa style program. It's called H-2B visa or something. I knew someone who hired one to sit with his sheep 24/7. Okay, gotcha.
He might be there. We don't know. Why don't we be an Einstein?
Let's go back a little bit.
You're not. We have to make it to outer space and invent new computers. Let's get to India and get the next Nikola Tesla. That's not what's happening. We're talking about people at fucking gas stations. You bring them over, you put them in a fucking gas station, and then we'll go around all the...
So now we know this is probably just like not true at all.
Gas stations in the USA and find the next genius. Well, what if he's not in India? What if he's working at a gas station in North Carolina? He might be there. We don't know. Why don't we bring everybody here and then we can look for everybody? That's actually a fucking genius idea. We bring fucking everybody here and then, like a needle in a haystack, we find the one man who can invent electrical computer. That sounds fucking retarded, and it's not true. You have to at least say that the H-1B program...
That's not what... I don't think that's what anybody says the H-1B program is supposed to do. It's just like, we need more workers in this specific... what do you call it? In this specific sector, there aren't enough workers in this sector in the United States that are, citizens of the United States. So what are we going to do? We're going to look to places elsewhere that have a bunch of workers with the skill set. We're going to allow you guys to hire them. Is this like a crazy fucking thing? I think one of the reasons that I'm getting a little bit just black-pilled on politics is the things that people care about. Like the idea that H-1B visas are the reasons that like people are, struggling right now is just fucking insane to me. But I don't think I think one of the reasons that I'm getting so blackpilled on politics is that nobody cares about what the actual issue is. They just know that they have a feeling that there's an issue somewhere in the general vicinity of like the economy. They have this like feeling, right? And so because they have this feeling that something is bad with the economy, something must be bad with the economy, right? And we got to look for a reason for why the economy is bad. You know, let's just like completely ignore the fact that, you know, we just had like a record breaking Christmas, like consumer, like spending year. We had record spending on groceries. We had record spending on like a bunch of things, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But like, you know, people can't afford to eat. People can't afford to, you know, buy their kids Christmas presents, even though we've had record spending on all of these things at the same time. It's not like we had record spending on groceries because they're so expensive and then nobody was able to buy Christmas presents. We had record spending on everything post the election. How does that make any sense? If the economy is so bad and people are struggling so much, right? And we're struggling so much for, you know, the oh wait, hold on. Which tab did I have the not manufacturing jobs over time? That's not the one. Tech unemployment rate. If we have such like a problem with like tech people being unemployed or finding it difficult to find a job, why is the unemployment rate for the tech sector 2.5%, right? Yeah, why is Uber Eats profits going up and up and up? But like people don't care about what the actual issues are, and that's what's so difficult. That's what's so difficult, because I feel like when I first started streaming, we were 3.5 years into Trump's presidency. And people would try, now they would fail to do it, but people would try to, you know, point to a specific problem that we had. But like as time has gone on, like the old moniker of like facts don't care about your feelings has completely gone away. And we are ruled. We are slaves. We're slaves to our feelings about the economy. We are slaves to our feelings about immigrants. We are slaves to our feelings about basically anything to do with politics. Nobody actually cares to look at the problem and then find a solution for that problem. People can't identify the problem in the first place, so they hear about one thing and they've decided that's why everyone's poor. This is why I'm personally suffering right now. How do you have a conversation with someone that doesn't live in fucking reality? When we hear fucking Mr. Whatever the fuck his name is, Sam Hyde, talk about, oh, we need to prioritize Americans over Indians, right? And we need to make sure that, you know, American workers are the ones being protected. Where are they being attacked? What are we protecting them from? How do you even have a conversation when the issue at hand isn't even agreed upon? What is the issue with the economy? What is the issue? What is the issue with immigration? What is the issue with H1B visas? Are any of these things actually issues?
Is being scammed. If you don't admit that, then as far as like any type of discussion that goes anywhere is concerned, it's over. It's over. This is a direct quote from moist critical himself. I'm speaking on his behalf. He was too busy streaming Marvel Rivals to talk to you. So I'm here on his behalf, giving you opinions that he approved, okay? Nobody's expecting you to go.
Yeah. What is the issue with drag queens? Was that not an issue that we were all talking about 2 years ago? Where are all the drag queen story hours? Did the conservatives drive them all underground? There are no more drag queens anymore? What happened to all the books that were like poisoning our minds? Yeah. What happened to all of that stuff? None of that actually mattered to anybody. Why is nobody talking about these things anymore? Because they don't fucking matter.
A full Steve Bannon here. You're a tech bro, we get it. Immigrant. But if you are on Team America, and by Team America, I don't mean Ben Shapiro's collection of ideas. America's not a collection of ideas. America is a people. Americans. If you are Team America, then the most prominent talking points need to be the immediate deportation of illegals and the end of the abuse of the American worker by programs like this H1B, the gamification of stuff like this that's set up to benefit people who aren't us. Nobody wants to solve the Japanese birth rate problem by turning Japan into...
Human beings are not interchangeable economic units. I mean, I guess it depends on like the context of the conversation you're having. If we're talking about a labor shortage, then yes, they are. I mean, like, definitionally, they would be. Wasn't Trump's anti-trans ad a big needle pusher in the election? I've heard like 3 people say that, whose entire like life is built around like being scared of trans people. Outside of that, I haven't heard conservatives talk about trans people in months or like a year. Because it's just not like that, because nobody fucking cares. Because nobody fucking cares. Because it's not an actual fucking issue.
Into India. That's preposterous. That's set up to benefit people who aren't us. Nobody wants to solve the Japanese birth rate problem by turning Japan into India. That's preposterous. That only would work in a computer simulation where you can just change the code and make a Japanese person. I've tried it. It can't be done. In my laboratory, okay, where Asmongold is right now, down in the basement, I have tried over 150 times to turn an Indian into a Japanese man. And the only thing I was able to accomplish was boiling them. All right? If you think, Elon, or Asmongold, if you're watching this, if you think you can turn an Indian person into a Japanese person by boiling them, not gonna happen, okay? Go down to my basement and talk to the 150 Indians that I already tried that on. Doesn't work. Nobody wants to solve the American birth rate problem. What's gonna happen? We're gonna run out of people. Oh, the stock prices are gonna go down. Oh, that's a problem for the All In podcast to figure out. It's David Sachs. Sachs of what? Sachs of gold?
The economy to people like this is just like, it's just like a magical thing. Like the economy doesn't have, you know, hard numbers that you can crunch and like figure out what the best thing is, and, you know, where you can put certain resources into one area to increase your productivity. Like it's just like a magic, you know, ephemeral thing that, if I feel like it's bad, it's bad. If the numbers disagree with me on it, then it's not, you're just not looking at the real numbers. It's just a magic box that I can create my own, you know, political narrative out of.
Just start calling yourself David Sachs of gold. What's the other guy? Jason Sachs? Asmongold? Asmongold. David Sachs should change his name to Asmongold. The branding is already set up for you. Asmongold wants to himself. You can replace his body and become the top streamer in America. I shouldn't say Asmongold wants to himself. I love Asmongold. That guy's classic. He's the ultimate. He's the best streamer. Is he good? I think he's good. I've never watched him. I just know his name is Asmongold. The only people who want to fix the American birth rate problem by turning America into India are fuckers. People are not interchangeable economic units. If they're not more than that, then that's just an extension of antinatalism. That's just nihilism. That's just people don't matter. Neil deGrasse Tyson, the universe doesn't care shit. The universe cares. That's why we're here. It's understandable why a computer guy, why an engineer would think that or would want to think that, because it would make solving problems so much easier. We have hardwired group preferences, we have genetic memory, we have culture. This is not learned stuff. It's so deeply embedded in us that it carries.
If it was so deeply embedded in us, like, I am 1/4 Belgian. Okay? My grandmother was from Belgium. Had an accent and everything. Okay? I don't know dick all about the culture or what are all the things that he talked about right here?
Wired group problems so much easier. We have hardwired group preferences, we have genetic memory, we have culture. This is not learned stuff. It's so deeply embedded in us.
Okay.
That it carries on.
I'm sorry. People who want to like cry and piss and moan whenever someone like says, "Oh, well, this guy's using Nazi talking points," they can, you know, go find a nice thick and long rope, so they can tie their lives back together. Try and save that analogy there, but this is like literally like Nazi. It's not even just fascism. It's like literally Nazi ideology. Like, I'm sorry, as someone who has read the book that was first written about fascism, right? The Giovanni Gentile. I can't remember the title of the book. Fuck. It's like the fascist manifesto. Okay. There's a lot of stuff that he's saying that's like along those lines, but fascism it doesn't inherently have a racial component to it. But an offshoot of, you know, classical fascism is Nazism, which does have a racial component to it. And every single thing that he just said is like right out of that fucking playbook, right? We have a genetic memory that allows us to, you know who our in-group preference should be towards. And we have genetic memory that lets us know what our culture is and why we enjoy one culture over another. But like, again, if you took a child out of like straight out the pussy, put them in an orphanage, and then they get adopted by a different, you know, culture or ethnicity family, they're probably going to know that culture a lot more than their birth culture. Birth culture? You know what I mean? Like, it's just like insane, weird glorification of shit that you never accomplished yourself, right? Like, if the only thing that you can identify yourself with and identify, you know, your neighbors or your friends is through, you know, the lens of your race, I'm sorry, you're a really sad sack of shit. Like, you're like, there's not a lot going on for you in your life, is there? There's not a lot going on in your life for you to only look at people through this lens of what color their skin is, where they were born, you know, not just where they were born, but to whom they were born to. Like, this shit's fucking insane. And I don't know how anyone would say that he's not doing like a Nazi talking point here. Imagine not honoring your ancestors. I don't care if someone wants to honor their ancestors is the thing. Like, honoring your ancestors is one thing, but like changing your behavior towards other people because of what your ancestors believed is really fucking stupid to me. Like, just because my ancestors did something does not mean that I have to do it too. Just because my ancestors believed something does not mean I have to believe it too, right? My ancestors probably believed in the four humors. You aren't grasping in-group preference? What part here have I said? Like, I understand the concept of an in-group preference. What part of in-group preference is down to our genes? He's ironically spreading Nazi ideology. I think this is probably the first serious video Sam Hyde's ever put out. What do you mean I'm not grasping in-group preference? I understand the concept. I even like had a whole 5-minute tangent earlier talking about the concept of in-group preference earlier, and you were in chat for it. And also, in-group preference doesn't have to come down to the color of your skin. In-group preferences can, well, you get to define what the in-group is. Your in-group could be based around anything. It doesn't have to come down to race. Oh, fuck. Fuck.
The basement and talk to the 150 Indians. It's David Sachs. Sachs of what? Sachs of gold? Just start calling yourself David Sachs of gold. What's the other guy? Jason Sachs?
Listen, Tron, if you're going to talk shit about Belgians not being white, all right, then you're telling me that I have the pass, all right? And you do not want to give me the pass, because then you're going to have a hell of a time. You're going to have a hell of a time editing this stream. Do not take my white card away, because I will abuse that.
Asmongold? Asmongold. David Sachs should change his name to Asmongold. The branding is already set up for you. Asmongold wants to himself. You can replace his body and become the top streamer in America. I shouldn't say Asmongold wants to himself. I love Asmongold. That guy's classic. He's the ultimate. He's the best streamer. Is he good? I think he's good.
This video is getting a lot of play on Twitch. What's the significance of this person? He's been an internet memer for a long time, and I think that there was contention as to whether or not he was a Nazi, and I think that contention is rapidly going away, because this dude is unironically saying a bunch of actual Nazi talking points. He's actually some crazy weird racial essentialism shit going on, you know? A lot of people think he's a groomer and had relationships with teens. I haven't seen I haven't seen any conclusive evidence of that. I'm not going to make any statements about that. Yeah, he also had an Adult Swim show. I forgot about that. But he's an internet phenom from a long time ago, underground internet phenom. The trans commercials did appear to have a significant impact. If there's any data on that, I'll believe it. As it stands right now, I didn't hear anybody talking about any trans issues during the election. If there was something that I missed, even though I was following it super fucking closely, I would love to see that. But I didn't see trans issues being a top 5 issue in the election at all. Hey, Adult Swim, J-Mac, you must be old as fuck. You must be old as fuck, dude. What the fuck? You don't know what Adult Swim is? Jesus Christ.
I've never watched him. I just know his name is Asmongold. The only people who want to fix the American birth rate problem by turning America into India are fuckers. People are not interchangeable economic units. If they're not more than that, then that's just an extension of antinatalism. That's just nihilism. That's just people don't matter. Neil deGrasse Tyson, the universe doesn't care shit. The universe cares. That's why we're here. It's understandable why a computer guy, why an engineer would think that or would want to think that, because it would make solving problems so much easier. We have hardwired group preferences, we have genetic memory, we have culture. This is not learned stuff. It's so deeply embedded in us that it carries on for thousands of years. Thinking of people as interchangeable units, while it would be useful in a simulation or in an economic theorem, it strips them of their humanity. And by the way, it's one of the first steps towards any authoritarian dictatorship type system. It's one of the first steps towards Marxism, is thinking of people as just labor. It's a very gross, anti-human
The first step
thing to
in
think.
what?
Steps towards Marxism is thinking of people as just labor. It's a very gross.
Fuck, I keep on doing that. Fuck.
When I said I wanted think that people can just be moist critical pronunciation. And by the way, it's one of the first steps towards any authority.
Okay. I don't know if that's like true at all. I don't know where he gets that at all. The first step towards authoritarianism is looking at people like their labor, as units of labor. Like there's so much here that's just like stupid that it's not even worth responding to. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to say about that? Like, nuh-uh? Like, it's just a stupid fucking statement on its face.
Authoritarian dictatorship type system. It's one of the first steps towards Marxism, is thinking of people as just labor. It's a very gross, anti-human thing to think, just to appeal to the Redditor in you. That's middle brain shit. Stupid people at the bottom of the spectrum know that everybody is special. Everybody's special. Everybody's different and has their own thing. Retards know this. Geniuses.
Is this just a regular Emerald playthrough? No, this is Emerald Legacy ROM hack. Somewhat difficulty hack, somewhat nostalgia hack. Because he believes if you reduce people to economic units and diminish their other qualities, it would be easier to commit atrocities against them. But that's not what the only reason we're talking about people in the context of like as units of labor is because we're having a conversation about units of labor. How else are you supposed to fucking talk about this without hurting fucking conservatives' feelings? Zolo, please fucking enlighten me, okay? How the fuck am I supposed to talk about, we need this many workers for this job. We have a unemployment rate of 2.5%, and yet we need like 50,000 more workers, all right? There aren't enough workers in the United States that have the qualifications to do this job. All right. So what am I supposed to talk about that doesn't use them as like, tell me the words, because the fragile conservative psyche when it comes to talking about these things fucking blows my mind. I am a fucking liberal. All right. I am a bleeding heart. Like, well, let me change every single fucking word that I was about to say. Jesus fucking Christ. I am a liberal. Okay. Everyone like always makes fun of the bleeding heart liberal that doesn't want to, commodify people and hates the commodification of art and shit like that. Like I have been one of those people to a certain extent. I am still one of those people, and still when I want to have a conversation about economics, I'm going to have a conversation about fucking economics. People like Jared Taylor would rather have economic hardship but maintain homogeneity. Well, those people, like, fuck them. Like, they're subhumanly unintelligent. They're subhumanly fucking hateful. I do not view them as human. If you would rather everyone in the country fucking suffer rather than let one fucking dirty fucking browno come into the country, yeah, you're less than human to me. Do not fucking care who fucking decides that that's a really mean thing to say about another human being. But you are less than human if you view another human being as less than human. That is how you actually become less than human in my eyes, is to view another human being as less than human. I'm willing to take on that, like, subhuman moniker, okay? I'm willing to eat that, all right, for you guys. I'll call him that, all right? Because I don't see them as having the same moral, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm sorry, conservatives are not butthurt about this type of convo. J-Mac. The entire reason this video has been made, directed specifically at Elon, is because conservatives are having a fucking civil war over the idea that Indians are getting visas to come and work in the United States. With half of them saying, these people are dirty, nasty, smelly, street, the poopers, right? Trying to separate out the thing because I don't want people to think that I'm saying a slur. But they're saying all of these things about Indian people, all right? And the other half of them are saying, wait, hold on. I thought we just didn't like illegal immigration. This is legal, so this is fine. J-Mac, you're going to trigger the fuck out of me. At any point during the like 5 or 6 streams that you've watched me, when have I ever referred to conservatives as anyone to the right of me? All right? I'm using conservatives to mean the broad conservative party who supported Donald Trump. I hate the fucking accusations thrown my way from fucking people on YouTube. Like, it blows my mind. I don't know how many fucking qualifications I can throw onto this to fucking make it to where people's fifis don't get hurt, okay? There is no broad conservative party that supported Trump, though. Okay. We're just going to keep watching the video. What the fuck am I supposed to say to that? Conservative, conservative poll, Donald Trump favorability polls. Can we do... I don't want just like his overall favorability. I want his favorability with conservatives. Subpopulation, Republicans. %80 of Republicans have a favorable opinion of Donald Trump. Because it's going to... okay, J-Mac is doing a thing right now that I fucking hate. Hey guys, really quick. Everyone in chat, please tell me, when I say there's a broad conservative, movement, there's a broad, Republicans and conservatives kind of interchangeable in the conversation that we're having right here, okay? Does everybody know what I mean when I say conservatives are having a civil war over this issue? Does everybody know what I mean? Or do I have to like add every granular fucking qualification so that I don't like offend conservatives in chat? Yeah, I use the terms interchangeably because in the conversation that we're having right here, they are interchangeable. We're not talking about political theory right now, J-Mac. Okay, I'm not getting one guide. We're continuing.
Understand that everybody is a unique product by and for their Zeitgeist, or Zeitgeist if you want to go with the moist critical pronunciation. Everybody is uniquely a product of their time and location and has their place in space and time. The smart people know this, the stupid people know this. It's people in the middle with 110 IQ, which is the worst IQ to have, who think that people can just be pushed around and moved around and changed. They can't. There's no hate towards Hispanics, okay? But that's why the room that I'm sitting in is covered in dust, is because the general contractor I hired used Hispanic labor. I didn't know. They laid down masonry cement. When I said I wanted polished concrete floors, masonry cement, you can't polish it. They left board marks and footprints in it. And I had to pay another crew of black people, okay, shout out to Greg, to come in here with jackhammers and get this shit dumpstered out of here. I went and hired my own blacks. I went in the ghetto and hired them by hand. That's how you need to hire blacks for SpaceX. And what you get is you get lower quality construction. You get lower wages for the blue collar workers who are here and fighting. Do you realize that people are fucking up against a wall fighting to make ends meet? Do you understand that the American people are on the ropes right now? Your people and not the world, okay? It's the American people. That's where this shit is popping off. That's where you came to do business. The American people are your problem now, to the extent that you want people to pay attention to your opinion. And by people, I mean actual people, not Patrick Bet-David, not Ian Miles Chong, Scott Adams, not these fucking faggots that'll walk around sucking your ass because you have money and because you made an electric car. But to the extent that you want that, you have to protect the American people. You're all about being pro-natalism and increasing the birth rate. Why is the average dude gonna wanna have kids when he can barely afford to live by himself and eat dump?
I don't know how much more of this we're going to watch, because we're 15 minutes into, we're a third of it in, and like half of the statements we have to look up, just like, that doesn't sound right, let me look it up, and it doesn't seem to be right. And the other half are just like statements that are so unimaginably fucking stupid, there's no way to prove or disprove them. I don't know what to fucking say. Like, it's just insane. High trust societies don't work when you import people who hate those societies. Oh, okay, so then we shouldn't allow people who hate our country to come in. Easy peasy. Does that mean that we should end all immigration? Does that mean that, are you trying to say that all Indians who come into this country fucking hate this country? J-Mac, give me the nomenclature you want me to use, okay? give me the fucking nomenclature. Jesus fucking Christ. There's a reason why the pro-Palestine protests do not have Canadian and American flags when they protest. I can't think of a reason why you would have an American or a Canadian flag when you're doing a pro-Palestine protest. Corey Pelsman, genuinely. And I agree. I don't think that like the anti-Western sentiment in the United States and all these fucking stupid lefties is a good thing. But can you explain to me why you would expect to see American flags at a pro-Palestine protest? No, I looked, it said Republicans. I was trying to find his favorability amongst conservatives, and that was the option that gave me, was Republicans, J-Mac. If you can find me something that shows like his favorability amongst conservatives, although I guarantee you, if we look at the methodology, those people are probably, Rasmussen or fucking, what's the other big, Gallup? They're also going to kind of interchangeably use Republican and conservative, because when we're having a conversation about right-leaning people in the United States, Republican and conservative are interchangeable in the same way that Democrat and liberal are interchangeable. Like, that's just the conversation we're having. They burn American flags at the pro-Palestine protests. Yep, that's a product of freedom of speech. I don't necessarily agree or disagree with it. It's just a thing that we're allowed to do because we live in the greatest nation in the world, where you're not going to get arrested for doing shit like that. Okay, we're gonna try and get through some more of this video, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm not having fun watching this video. It's like a rehash of old, like 2016 shit. I feel like I would have seen a bread tuber cover this video in like 2017 or 2018. Like, this is the level of like Nazi talking points that we're on, number one. And number two, this is the like how far back in the conversation we've regressed.
Dominoes. Hey, why isn't China importing infinity Indians right now? If it's such a huge economic advantage, why isn't China doing it? We need to do a naval blockade of China.
Wait,
Such a huge eat dominoes. Hey, why isn't China importing infinity Indians right now?
Because they have 1 billion people that live in their country. Also, they fucking hate India. They have a fucking bad relationship with India, as far as I know. They have 1 billion people. They don't need to import people for work. They don't need immigration. And if I'm completely honest, my understanding of like East Asia is that like East Asia is considerably more racist than even America is. So China should be there having economic issues because of their low birth rate. Well, the low birth rate thing is going to hit them in like 2030 to 2040 when people start getting old and aging out of the workforce. Not yet, though. There would have been no Rwandan genocide without an ethnic divide between the Hutus and the Tutsis. There would have been no apartheid in South Africa were it not for the ethnic divides between white and black South Africans. Nor would there be the current discrimination and incitement to genocide by prominent parties there without against whites in South Africa without those divides. Can you tell me why there hasn't been a fucking like? Well, let's not say there hasn't ever been a. There hasn't ever been a fucking ethnic cleansing in the United States, but like in the past, 100 years, right? Have we had a fucking genocide? Have we done a Hutu and Tutsi? Have we done a South Africa, or have we moved past that? Like, it seems like multiculturalism can work, but there seems to be a problem, all right? It seems to be a problem that when the economic shit starts, like, getting bad and people stop, like, when people stop caring about what the country is actually founded on, Trail of Tears, hey, how's it going, Jovins? It's been a hot second. Yeah, I mean, like, that was a thing, but that was a while ago, okay? We're washing our hands of that one. We don't agree with the Trail of Tears, okay? We don't like the Trail of Tears. Fuck. It does not feel fun to cough when you have a broken rib. Ironically, the Rwandan genocide happened because of people lying on the radio stations, just like Trump. Interesting. But it's mind-blowing how people don't understand he is shit-stirring everyone, complaining about this. He's trolling all of you, and you still think he is being serious. Listen, I'm sorry. At a certain point, like, I'm fine with edgy humor, and I'm fine with people trolling. But, like, at a certain point, if you're going to make an entire video and present it as super fucking serious with, like, the occasional joke, right? At a certain point, people are going to take what you say at face value. Is that not, like, the... I feel like I've given him a lot of grace because he's just, like, an internet funny man, like, troll guy, right? But there have been allegations that he is a Trump, or not a Trump, I'm sorry. These things kind of get interchanged in my mind. There have been allegations that he is like a Nazi or a racist or some shit like that. Never paid attention to the guy, like literally ever. Sam Hyde does not live in my brain, literally ever. I do not pay attention to the guy. There are a couple of funny videos that I've seen, a couple of funny things that he's done that have got like blown up, right? Other than that, I don't know anything about the guy. No, he isn't. He's a straight up shit stirrer. Okay, well then he's stirring up shit along racial lines in my country, and I don't like him for that. Whether he's like an actual Nazi or he's just like very convincingly saying all of their talking points right now, I don't give a fuck.
If it's such a huge economic advantage, why isn't China doing it? We need to do a naval blockade of China to make sure they don't get any of these amazing Indians. Every Indian that makes his way into China is a...
Also, I don't think that China is beating us in any aspect when it comes to tech. I'm sorry. I don't think that they're like blowing us out of the fucking waters on anything military tech, on, you know, software development or anything like that. They were able to make one AAA game, okay? Not a Nazi, just believes and says everything that they do. Yeah, exactly. You're about to be convinced he's a Nazi. He's very upfront blaming Jews on his podcast. Well, link me something, because I'm not sure how much more of this I can take. This is just annoying.
threat, because China will use their genius.
Electric car manufacturing? They do produce a lot of electric cars. However, are their electric cars better than our electric cars? I genuinely don't know the answer to that.
To get one over on us. That's the biggest threat this country's facing, right? I think we need to go nuclear. I think we need to say, if China imports enough Indians, it's like diamonds. It's like nanotechnology. Indians are like nanotechnology. We have to be willing to use nuclear weapons to keep China from getting these precious Indians. That's step one. Sounds retarded, right? Because it is. It's retarded. It's subtarded. Ever hear of a subtard? By the way, Moist Critical coined that term, subtard. Competing with China in what sense? GDP? Making a number go up? Having software companies that are valued more highly? Competing with China in what sense? And at what cost? If the
Bro, it's literally every single fucking Nazi talking point that I've debated with the Groypers over, dude. It's literally every single one of them. Oh, you want the GDP to go up? You want the economy to be good? Yeah, number go up, therefore I'm feeling better about the economy? Like, it's literally every fucking retarded, like, subhumanly low, low IQ take I've ever heard come from a, like, incel, like kissless virgin's mouth. It is unfucking believable how many he's hitting in such a short amount of time.
cost is making America look like Calcutta, that's not worth it. That's not a price that we're willing to pay. People keep posting these aerial drone display videos of drones shaped like a dragon. Correct me if I'm wrong, that's something that a bright high schooler could do on a smaller scale, is it not? Making drones move around in 3D space? How is that an impressive problem to anybody except boneheads who are mystified by drones in the first place? Look at this, this aerial drone display. It's a ballet of...
Yeah, you know what? I will give him that. It is really fucking boneheaded, stupid shit to fucking look at the dragon drone thing and think, wow, this is like, they're beating us so fucking hard right now. This is like, that's actually fucking stupid, yeah. Oh, okay, Rami. Well, I guess we won't watch the rest of the fucking video. I guess like the entire fact that, you know, he put this out on the back of the fucking massive, you know, conservative / Republican / Trump / right leaning, sorry, J Mac in chat. Okay. The entire civil war that's going on the right now. Like, I guess like none of that fucking matters. We can just like turn off the video because it was all just a fucking troll, and literally nothing that he says with the nearly 1 million fucking views that he has on this video, right? Where he is, you know, commentating like directly to someone who has a direct line, whispering into the ear of the fucking president. Yeah, like, I guess like none of this fucking matters at all. It's all just a really big fucking troll. We shouldn't fucking care about it at all. We shouldn't listen to it at all. We shouldn't like, oh, well, he's just fucking trolling, right? Just like fucking Nick Fuentes was fucking trolling. Like, oh man, like he's just like a really good fucking memer. At the end of the day, what's the fucking point of fucking pointing out, oh, well, he's a big troll. He's a big memer, blah, 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 blah. It's just fucking cover. And if he is fucking just memeing, well, then he's doing the work of fucking Nazis because he's saying literally the exact same things that they do, having a bunch of people in the general public saying, hey, you know what? This guy's got some good ideas. This guy, he says it like it is. Like, I've seen those takes on fucking Twitter. So, like, what the fuck do you want from me? All right? Do you think that, like, we should, like, oh, well, I don't think that this guy is serious, so therefore nothing that he says is, like, worth Yeah, I was about to say, then I shouldn't fucking react to Trump saying literally anything. I should never look at Trump because he's just a memer. We can't take anything that he says at face value. Nothing that he says has any value whatsoever because he could, change his mind the next day. So fuck it. We'll never listen to another person who has ever made a fucking joke on the internet. What the fuck do you want from me? Sondsol, he's always believed this.
Oh, yeah.
How you doing there, Skeeter? Listen up and listen good. Since the beginning of recorded...
See, like, with stuff like this, 6 years ago, I'm sure, and we'll watch the video, I'm sure I would look at this and say, you know what, this guy seems like a memer. It seems like he's making a joke. However, when you make a 45-minute video directed specifically at Elon Musk because he's whispering in Trump's ear over something like about immigration, and you're trying to, I'm sorry, what's the fucking joke?
History. The white man's been coming up with technologies, cultures, civilizations worth keeping, worth saving, worth giving a damn about.
Thank you, white man, for inventing the computer, the microwave, medicine, electricity, sanitation, theory of evolution, the radio, the pencil, Western law, cotton candy, freedom of speech, the sewing machine, discovery of DNA, the atom, discovery of the cell, the camera, Chrysler's, and we was king.
This work hangs.
Thank you, white people. Thank you for creating a society where people don't shit in the...
What the fuck is this facial hair, my guy? What compelled you? What compelled you to cut it off right there? Sorry. Couldn't. That one fucking stopped me in my tracks. I couldn't fucking pay attention to anything else. What the fuck, dude?
Thank you, white people. Thank you for
Sadly, white man never created anime. True.
creating a society where people don't shit in the street or beat their kids all day. And thank you for letting us use your pristine, clean emergency rooms. And thank you for all the free money. Oh, and by the way, did you know I'm 1/8 Hopi Indian?
I don't give a fuck about that.
Excuse me, mister. Yoo-hoo. Hi. Thanks for giving women the vote.
What happened to your
Uh-oh.
boulder, Goy? I don't know. I wasn't looking. Next thing I knew, boulder's gone. I guess I'm a stupid Goy. You're white. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, try a little bit more.
Killer drones, how can we compete with that? That's what drones do. They move around in coordinate space. Who gives a fuck? Well, it's the low-hanging fruit of robotics that mystifies people. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Didn't we have more impressive shit in the 80s? Isn't this more impressive?
One. Cover. With no pilot to compromise performance, even more unusual craft and propulsion systems have been designed and tested.
Why do we need to compete with them? Can't we just kick their spies out and tell them to fuck off? When do I get some Chinese pussy, okay? Am I not a big enough media figure that the CCP, it's the CCP, Chinese Communist Party? Why aren't they sending these hot spies to fuck with me? Suck my dick for blackmail. When's that gonna happen? China, I'm waiting, okay? I have 300,000 YouTube subscribers, or 250,000 probably, 200,000? How much on Hyde Wars? If you have over 100,000 Twitter followers, you should demand that a hot Chinese spy comes and sucks your dick, okay? You take video, whatever. Why is that? Am I not popular enough to get this fucking mingling? To get Bing Bing over here? Ah! A Tesla Model X and Bing Bing over here sucking me. That's my price, China. Send them over. Do we need to build giant cities that nobody lives in to compete? Do we need to turn our country into a surveillance state fucking nightmare to compete? Do we need to essentially have slave labor to compete? What type of competition are you talking about? And at what cost? Competing with China is competing with literal slave
You think
labor,
so, Corey?
and that's impossible to compete with. It's not worth competing with.
The drones, by the way, I think the fact that drone warfare is becoming extremely effective, having thousands flying perfectly in coordination, could act as an aerial minefield against any, or any number of offensive actions. I mean, yeah, drone warfare is like fucking crazy. The next thing that I was going to look at was something about Russia lost an entire battalion in one day. So that's probably what we're going to watch next. But yeah, drone warfare is fucking crazy. And all of the people that I know that are in like the, I shouldn't say, the people that I see talking about online who are like in the military community or the like open source intel community or stuff like that, they all are mad that we haven't been investing in the drone technology,
What
like
else
the
is
small.
happening? What's on Twitter? What's trending on Twitter?
Wait, what did I just click on? Oh, okay. They're like all the military people I know are like mad that we haven't been investing in the FPV, first person view drones. But they lose to fucking microwave bursts. Well, I'm sure that like the military will probably try and come up with some way to counteract that, or I'm sure that they know that, you know? Okay. Is there a timestamp where he says the fucking crazy shit? Here, we'll watch like the first 2 minutes of this, and if it doesn't do it, then we'll move.
Can we see, Chris?
I like how that's only the thing Twitter's good for.
Hold on. China having the drone tech to perfectly fly thousands to form a pretty dragon could also be used in an attack. Right, but like we also have that capability here in the United States. Right, but they just like hype it up super fucking hard because the government wants everybody to think that they're like the reason why everyone is seeing the fucking dragon isn't because the dragon is that fucking impressive. It's kind of cool looking, right? But like China wants everybody to think like, oh, well, they have like such better technology and they're ahead of everyone. It's the same style of like Russian propaganda from the Soviet era. It's the same kind of propaganda that Russia still tries to push. Like, oh, well, we're actually like well ahead of the West, and you know, our missiles are hypersonic, and that means that they're better. And our tanks have auto loaders in the turrets, so we're ahead of the United States and the entire West by at least 50 years. You know, like they try and like hype themselves up to scare people in the populace, so they vote for people that are like more squeamish to take any action against them, which has been pretty effective the past couple of years, hasn't it? China probably doesn't want to waste the chips those drones would need in a big attack like that. High-end chips aren't in. Well, I don't even know like what level, like what kind of chips you would need. Like I'm incredibly tech illiterate, especially when it comes to hardware. Okay, so I don't know what you would need for a fucking drone like that. You know? Yeah, those drone chips and drones are cheap. Yeah, exactly. Like I would assume that they're cheap because you probably don't need a ton of processing power. And also, like if you're going to use them in military engagement, something that is that flimsy and that fragile, being that expensive, and then putting it on the front line is probably something that's just not worth the investment. I have no idea what this Shang Yang and fucking Sean are arguing about in chat. Do I need to time someone out? Twitch chat, let me know. All right, we're gonna watch 2 minutes of this and then we're gonna move on.
Trending?
Not missing something.
Well, I think Twitter's great. I think it's everything that it's getting there. What's Amy Schumer doing? Is she doing some?
She's eating. She's.
I've
trending.
never given money.
Damn.
What has Amy Schumer said? This is not going away.
What is not?
This Israel Palestine thing. It's really setting the Brazilians against the leftists that they've sort of created.
Isn't that good?
I mean, it's
you don't think they'll contain it?
I think it's. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, but it's not going away, man.
What you think? Like leftists are going to be going at pro-Brazilian?
Yeah, because the Palestinian side is the brown underdog oppressed side that the leftists are sort of gravitating towards, and they're now like
they're Frankenstein's beating them back.
Yeah, the golem is fighting back now.
You're right.
Yeah.
So like
and there's frankly the left is saying and doing things that are downright anti-Semitic.
Welcome to the party, pal.
I don't. I'm gonna sleep the whole time on this thing. I'm just like, it's boring.
I mean, yeah,
dude.
But what did I say? Hold on. Did something I posted about my people being massacred upset you?
My people being massacred?
Yeah, the my people thing is fucking unbelievable. Like, Brazilian, just wake up and stop talking like that.
No, it's not gonna happen.
I know. What is it? What is it about? Like, I don't understand it. Like, I would never. Like, I'm a Catholic boy.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's just not. It's not capturing my attention. I don't care. The Sam Hyde thing was massively overblown